Uranus, such an exciting planet. The planet, change, changeability, excitement in the future. So, in the 11th house, we find the action of Uranus corresponding most naturally, or we could say most archetypally, ideally, with the environment of the 11th house. So, what we do when it's a planet that naturally lives in a particular house, what we do, how we act out that planet, can oftentimes serve the goings on of that house very, very well. Aspects tell us a lot, though, about what happens, what our actual behavior pattern is, our belief related to that particular planet. But it is very helpful to have a planet that comes into its natural house. The 11th house, this is the territory of meaning where we find large groups. We find our national identity. We potentially could find our broader identity, our human identity. So we have two potentials with Uranus in the 11th house. And if we're going more towards the human identity, identifying as, a human being in general, without the large underlying belief structure of national identity. So that's huge. That's something that typically will override religious identity, as we can see in the zodiac, because Jupiter actually precedes Uranus. So a lot of people are willing to trade or sell out their Jupiter for the sake of their Uranus. It sort of goes in order of safety, how humans are driven. So when we have something in the 11th house, it's really appropriated to that action of collaboration, possibly cooperation. The air houses are cooperative houses, cooperative signs. We are engaging with others in those elements. The 3rd, the 7th, the 11th. There's not much to do if there isn't an exchange, because we have information that's proliferating in those environments, the 3rd, the 7th, the 11th. So we have the communication in the 3rd with those in our immediate environment. And then that communication extends to the 7th to communication with those in our more broader environment. And on our totally broad environment, this is where we're dating, making connections, forming relationships. And then we have the communal type of interaction and communication that happens in the 11th house. So this is a very innovative place, because this is where we have a lot of different ideas converging. It isn't a homogeneous environment, the 11th house. The 10th house is a homogeneous environment. The 11th house is very diverse, and it is the diversity of perspective that lends to the creativity within the 11th house, because we have all these different viewpoints that come together and inform each other. So innovation comes out of that, and invention, the future. It is the convergence of all these different ideas that brings us into the future.